What is going on? Hold on a second. What's happening over here? Alexa, stop. What is going on? What is going on? Hold on a second. What's happening over here? I'll be right back. Alexa, stop. What is going on? I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. Mortifying. I had the Hobby of Hours main computer going while I'm over here in the studio going, okay. Amateur hour. I guess it's a good thing that there aren't many people who tune into these generally, let alone when I do a last minute one, let alone when I try a, special new format, which is more or less a sales corner today. You can see my secondary camera thing going there. Oh, what up? We got someone in the room. How's it going, brother? Oh, from Holland. Do you pronounce it Louis or Louis? That's kind of cool. Welcome. This is gonna be a strange one. We're kind of doing some, look, I need to move some weight. Got a little bit of redundancy in the collection. I'm hanging out with James Robot on a Sunday afternoon. And I just had this late day inspiration yesterday as I took it a new watch. It's over there. You know what? I need to move some weight. So what I got here is a light box. If this is not a great format or not enjoyable, by all means, let me know in the comments. But my goal here is to sort out these watches that need to go for redundancy reasons. I have photographs of them. I've got watch timegraphers data from the Wishi I'll be sharing. And if you're interested in any of these, by all means, drop me a comment. I think I'll probably make some actual 4K videos and put those up somewhere for you to get a look at it. What is on wrist? I am wearing the Longines Conquest 40 millimeters. This watch is actually available for sale. It is already loaded into the eBay store. This Hobby of Hours is my not dealer name, but my seller name on there. I'm not a dealer, but I do need to move watches on from time to time, but that's my store name. That's a better way of putting it. You can check that out there. But there's a gentleman that I've been engaging in discussions with about this piece. I think he's eventually going to buy it. Look, it's been on the block for a while, mostly because when I first listed it, I had the incorrect reference number for it. That's why no one was finding it. And so I priced it relative to market. These are going for, as of today, somewhere between $1,400 and $1,500. I'm looking to get $1,200. He saw an auction sell one for $700-ish, somewhere in there, but he didn't go in on that auction. And so he was trying to get me to come down to $700. I'm not going to do that. That was an open auction environment. Those are always sporadic and not given to chance. Plus, I know that my example is better. But if you're watching, sir, come back to the table and your pricing still stands. That all said, let us get into the presentation. All right, got to sell some watches. Those three are the first ones. Let's see what we got here. What do you say, brother? What's up, HP? eBay treats you. No, I haven't sold on there in a while, to be fair. I think their fallout with PayPal caused issues. It used to be 10% eBay fees, 3% PayPal fees, but now I think it's all 15% them. I kind of don't know, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to get away from it. Chrono 24 is in the doghouse. There's probably going to be a video about them coming soon, but we've got an Oris Chronoris. We've got my Christopher Ward Moonphase 40 millimeter. We've got the Seiko automatic Flightmaster SPDS 001, and we've got two surprise watches along for the ride as well. Let's see what we got. What's up, Andrew? Oh, you got a new Fortis. Right on. Yeah, the Chronoris. I love this watch. This is a rebuy for me. But then I ultimately got the green Grand Prix 1970, which is a similar, but it's green, right? And it has a GMT, so it's a Chrono GMT. That's why I'm parting with this one. But I figured what I would do, testing this format out, First batter up is indeed the Oris. We'll do the light box in a minute, but here are some dims. I did timegrapher shots and put them in. I imagine they may be difficult to see in this hand breath. Let's see if I can zoom in. They're all doing fairly well. A couple of them, you can look at them and get a sense of where how they're tracking. Traps in the room. What is going on, sir? Always good to hear from you. Tell me you're going to New York in October, big man. I think we talked about it, but I kind of don't know. But wind up in October, dude. So here we got this. It's diameter 40 millimeters, 14.5, a touch high, but it wears well in the lug to lug. This is very much a 70s cushion case piece, and quite a cool piece, if I may say so myself. Switching to this view, D. I got me gloves on. Got me gloves. So Oris Chronoris. Let's get that chrono started. Tilt. All right, come on, baby. Somewhat unusually, this has got a 30-minute register at the top. I don't know how useful that is for chronograph applications. I don't know. I mean, I'm never in a position to track something that's lasting 30 minutes. Shout out to Andrew. Yes, that's well put. Although, to be fair, I'd have the Omega Mark II racing dial over this piece, although this is still a fairly great piece. The most unique thing about these, first of all, this is a full kit. No bracelet, but full kit. It has a leather-ish pouch, has some other bric-a-brac in there. But the most interesting thing about this piece is the crown system, such that I can't believe more people aren't utilizing it. You know, when you have to screw down a crown, it feels like you're rotating a bolt or a nut onto a bolt. There's several rotations required. And there's always the possible of, damaging the threading, although it probably doesn't happen all that often. But this is almost like a half-turn deal. I don't think I can demo it. Let me get all one of these. Let me get my fancy gloves off. But when you do this, it like that. So it's got a detent. You push it in and you rotate through that diagonal detent, and it's basically not even quite a half turn. But let's see here. What else we got here? We got display case back. Oris red rotor in fabulous shape. And if you guys are interested in this, either go, I think I'll say write to me through the website, hobbyofhours.com. And then, because some of this stuff is going to be on there, I'd rather deal with you guys direct, and anyone who's a viewer of the channel is going to get my best price. Don't be surprised when you go to the website and you see much higher prices. I always load my prices higher on the website, and particularly on eBay, because I want to control who gets to buy it. Meaning, I want to have a dialogue with a buyer. I want to invite them to make an offer, and I want to find out if they're polite, if they're rude or whatever, or if they approach the buying aspect the same way I do. Like whenever I ask a seller for a discount, I'm not averse to making a cheeky offer, but I usually try to write a little bit more. And then that way I know I'm working with someone who's going to be a good buyer, just like I'm trying to be a good seller. Next batter up. All right, where are we at? All right. Christopher Ward Moonphase. I absolutely love this watch. Challenge. When they released it in 37, it just fits a little bit better. I think they're the same height, unless I'm mistaken. You know what? I would literally have to go back and watch one of my own videos. This watch is epically good. This is almost what they would consider nearly new, if not mint. I bought it, didn't wear it out. I wore it in a couple of videos and just I didn't really have a nighttime. I see this as a nighttime date watch. And the Hobby of Hours stable has not been filled with mares in some time. So I see this as a really wonderful date watch. I just haven't gone any dates since I've owned it. This one is from 2023, so still has plenty of warranty on it. And the reality is, once I sell this on, I'm going back to Christopher Ward. I'm just going to buy the 37, which, when it came out, I grabbed this as a pre-order without even thinking about it. I was like, take my money, C-dub. Looking forward to seeing those guys in October at Wind Up. Let's see here. All right. Now, to be fair, This thing is so beautiful. I'm impressed they did not put their name and brand on it, because they deserve the credit for this. This thing is so brilliant. I will tell you, you have to bend your wrist when you're wearing it so those hands will catch a glimmer of light to tell the time. Like right now, oops, it's a starry night with a beautiful moon. Probably one of the largest moon phases, meaning the image of the moon there. But if you're out walking around, you're with your girl, whatnot, at night, there's plenty of street lights, you just bend it a little, and once that glimmer hits those hands, you'll be able to see what time it is. But to be frank, just staring at it is, plenty of fun here. This one is also full kit. All of the links, everything. I just never got to wear it on a date. How embarrassing for me. Is the moon loomed? Good question, Andrew. I'm gonna go grab my Lume flashlight. Sorry if that seems unprofessional, fellas. If I'm being honest, I didn't expect anyone to show up today. So glad to have you here. I just thought it was going to be me and good old James Robot hanging out. All right, let's see. I have to turn these lights out for a second to see if we get a Lume shot. But Andrew, doing it for you. There's your answer. Loom diddy boom. You see, I'll turn on all the lights, get the full effect. Yep. You're welcome, buddy. If I'm being honest, I didn't know it was loomed. Next time I do this, I'm gonna have a much easier setup going. I think I have a bunch of hot switches and everything. But she's gorgeous. And to be frank, if they didn't release it in 37, I wouldn't be selling this one. Yeah, I know, heartfelt. I was so embarrassing. I never hit it with the lube before, but it doesn't matter. The 37 is just as gorgeous. I have a 6.5-inch wrist. I can wear this watch perfectly fine. It's just the 37 feels better. That's all. All right, so that is the C-Dub. Oh, yeah. Pricing and reference numbers are in the description, because pricing is going to change. I modify my pricing relative to the market, typically downwards, rarely upwards. The funny thing we're going to see with the Christopher Ward offerings is that because they've been changing, to their credit, they've been changing their tariff pricing policy such that I didn't go all the way to the cart to see if or what the tariff, because the tariff's going to be 39%, but they do have a foothold in America. You know what? I'm going to reach out to Mike and see if he wants to come on the program and talk about it. Mike's there, the North American brand ambassador, super cool guy. He's been on the channel before, but I want to see if he wants to do a live show and talk about it, because very few watch manufacturers are getting out ahead of the tariff discussion. Mark from Long Island has talked about it, but from brands that are in the traditional located in the Swiss sector or whatnot, I haven't heard from them. I wonder if Mike would come on the program to do that. I bet he would. Note to self. Moving on, Seiko automatic Flightmaster. If you followed my channel for any amount of time, you know I'm a big fan of it. Learned about them obviously from watching Tristano TGV. Shout out to you, sir, if you're out there. He first, obviously, regular Flightmaster is a champion of his channel, but he also did an episode many a moon ago about the automatic versions, and that sent me on a bit of a goose chase. And I got all three of them, and then whenever one of these would pop at an unusual low price, I would buy one to then resell it, make a little money on it. I have gotten away from doing that post-COVID, and this one has been, I've actually got two of these, to be fair, sitting around. So it's just taking up space, and I don't want to go down the dealer route, if I'm being honest. I can't. I love buying watches. I don't like selling them. It's just a chore, but I have to move it on. So why not put it into the hands of someone who might enjoy it at a really great price? So let us take a look at this one. Now these wear a touch big. Keep in mind, I have a 6.5-inch wrist. I can pull it off because of the lug to lug. The older I get, the more I appreciate a power reserve complication. A lot of people say it's useless, and those, I can't say that those people are wrong. But as I've gotten on in age, I have a couple that have them. My Cartier GMT has one. Absolutely love it, and I realize it's silly. But this one has its date at 4:30. Why is the hour hand always blocking the date window when I want to call attention to it? But this is kind of a funny way of actuating the chronograph. See those? That is a screw down pusher, but it's screwed down in position when you want to begin the chronograph. All right, so chrono's running. Now, if I want to, I was going to say position, set this up so it doesn't, so I can't impact its functionality, I have to unscrew the pusher to the all the way out position like that, and then it can't be depressed. No one should be depressed. We're talking watches, right? But you know what I mean. You can't press it down. So I have to scroll that back in, and then functions as any other chrono. This is fully titanium. These models came out 99, 2000, 2002, 2003-ish, and it predates the Seiko Brights titanium, but it's the same tech. Oh, come on, camera. Bloody hell. Come on, camera's not focusing for me. Maybe I need to drop. Maybe I need to get it low. Get it low, get it low, get it low. You know what? I really can't tell if it's coming in or not. Anyway, she's beautiful. As I said, I'm probably going to do some 4K videos with close-up information that will not be Blursville, because I think it's a Blur's Witch product. Blur's Witch project at this point. All right, going back. Yeah, 45 millimeters is the diameter, but the polite lug to lug gets the job done, and I dare say these look amazing on an NDC strap from ndcstraps.com. Shout out Jacko. Next up, Tutima. I think that Tutima, okay, so Tutima is a German brand. They're contemporary of Hanhart. They go just about as far back as them in the they were in the Glashütte area, certainly pre-World War II, and making Flieger chronographs for the military forces. But I think Tutima is a brand that is getting slept on or slept upon, and no one's really tuning into them, paying attention to them. I think I'm the only one making videos about them, certainly at any frequency and whatnot. Oh, HB, oh, you know Tutima? Where are you? Oh, let me get my, come on, mouse. That's cool. Yeah, the Pacific's awesome. This is the 793. The Pacific is, well, actually they had time only and chronos in the Pacific line. The Pacific line is a step up from this line, but this has got the venerable Valjoux 7750, low 50, and this is, I hesitate to say Daytona killer because clearly they're not in the same price band, but it is certainly a Tudor big block killer, if you know what I mean. The big block Tudor chronographs and the Tudor chronographs generally that have the Valjoux in this configuration, whether it's the Prince, the Tiger, you can get these for easily half the price. There are a lot of different color variants of these, and that is one reason why I'm moving this one on. They've got them in blue, in red, panda, reverse panda. Ironically, the only one I don't have is the green dial. That is the most rare. But this is the all black dial, and she's shiny. She is definitely a dress racing chrono. You will not be impressed by this bracelet. This bracelet, I can't believe I'm going to say it. This bracelet makes entry-level Seiko bracelets look great. Hashtag burn. If I was going to wear this, it would be on a 2-stitch strap. Shout out Ivan. But that configuration, for the era of Tudor chronographs that are using, not their Kinase, but they're using, 750s, the Pacific line of these, the movement is decorated to a higher standard than the Tudor. the Tudor movement is decorated to a slightly higher standard than this, the 793. But epically gorgeous. And I actually got watch spotted wearing one of these in LA. Me and G Money were walking around Beverly Hills, nice area, but I had my spidey sense was tingling, and I had the sense someone was following us. It was short sleeve weather. There was this dude on a phone. I just can tell when someone's following me. We ended up, I pulled G aside in front of a nail salon that happened to be closed. He didn't expect us to stop. He rolled up on us, went up to the nail salon window as if to check the hours of operation, and then took off. So at a distance, this can pass for a Daytona until you get up to about 10, 12 feet away. But shame on that fellow. Watch spotting. Okay, so this one is a German day wheel. We know that because on Tuesdays, Tutima wants you to die. So German day wheel, absolutely wonderful. I have got, you're going to see more of these because, to be honest, leading into, sad moment, leading into my mom's passing and certainly thereafter, I went down the rabbit hole of retail therapy, and I just became a nutter. Thankfully, I bought well, but I don't need the same watch in 6 different colors. So that's why we're moving this one along. But yeah, get a rally strap for this. Stitch this bracelet. Wouldn't trust it. All right, let me check on the comments. Andrew, what's up? Let's see here. Yeah, what you're talking about is the Tutima. I want to say it's their 1940. It looks like the Cathedral Hand Heart Flieger replica, the one that I have. It looks lock stock the same. They released the overlap between Tutima and Hand Heart historically was more along the lines of their military Fliegers, not post World War II, but World War II Fliegers with cathedral hands. And you'll see Glashute on the dial with a little T above it on the vintage ones. Those are cruising 7, 8, 9 grand. But they also did a re-edition that is comparable to the modern Hand Heart re-edition, not the today one, but from the one like in the late 90s. It's a good looking watch. It's a fine watch. Hand Heart is doing it more frequently and better in my opinion, but I also clearly have a soft spot for them. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Tutima. To be fair, I don't know where they're made now. Yeah, they have a lot of unusual chronographs. Like I have their yachting chronograph, which I'm about to do a showdown with. I call it my steak watch because it's good for timing a steak. But that is the Tutima. I wish more people would get into these because it's such an affordable, quality-made Daytona-esque piece. Speaking generally, they're great. I got too many. I've got a Panda, reverse Panda, blue. I do want the green one, to be fair. I absolutely want that green one. All right, what's next on deck? Oh, that's it. My gosh. Is that all, D? You know what? I'm going to put the, not to bait the viewer, but he's already seen this watch in 4K. Yeah. Oh, some additional buying, selling advice. Actually, more selling advice. Okay, so let's say I buy a watch for $1,000. And then for some reason I need to sell it, whatever the reason is. And then they start selling for $1,500. I would determine the lowest offer out there that's comparable. Let's say he's $1,500. I would list mine for $1,400. Oh, Harlem King, what up, dude? Welcome to the program, sir. We're kind of wrapping up the watches. I'm kind of going on a waffle. So if I buy a watch for $1,000, need to sell it, and they then start cruising at $1,500, I'll undercut the next closest one to $1,400, and I'll offer 2-day shipping. If for some reason, typically out of Japan, someone would list one, let's say $800. So selling it would mean I'd be at a $200 loss. I'm not going to match that $800 price. I'm going to pull my listing entirely, wait for the market to shift, and or wait for that one other seller to sell his, And then if there are no other $800 ones, I will relist my item for $1,200 again. If I'm determined and purposed to not take, yeah, it is clean. This might be up your alley. This one, you missed it, Harlem King. This one is currently listed both on my website and on, wait, dude, did you get to see it when I wore this to the Longines event when you had your Equinox on? Nobody seemed really, this is not a particularly unusual Longines. It's not like it's a 13ZN. No one had a whole lot of interest in checking this watch out. I wasn't heard about it. I just figured Longines event, I'm gonna wear my one Longines. But yes, dude, with your wrist, you could pull this off. This is 40 millimeters. This is on my website. It's on eBay. But if any of you are interested in these watches, write to me. Tell me you're a viewer. Because as I said earlier, I price stuff high out there for the general public. But if I know you've come along on the channel, happy to sort you out with a good deal. But yeah, I adjust my prices relative to the market because you kind of have to, right? You kind of have to. And it's one thing to be tone deaf to what's out in the market, but you kind of have to gauge it. I try never to lose money on a watch sale. At worst, I'll net out or I'll hold on to the piece until the market shifts. They used to say that you make your money on a watch when you buy it, not when you sell it. And while I'm not looking to dip my toe too much further into dealerdom, there's a lot of YouTube dealers their content becomes of questionable value if all they're ever doing. Jacko, what's up, brother? You missed I mentioned NDC straps earlier, my man. NDC straps look fabulous. I don't want to reload the light box. It's such a chore on these Seiko Flightmaster automatics. But we're just talking shop here about, venting the collection. More to come because I bought another watch. You know what? Since you guys are here, I'll tell you it's a Ming GMT. It is absolutely gorge. I don't have a picture of it. It's in the other room. It's on deck, getting ready to be shot. But I wanted to experience the Ming brand. And if I'm being honest, I floated an offer and I didn't expect him to take it, but he took it. And it's green. It's their green GMT Kyoto. And yeah, you're welcome, Jacko. Love your stuff, my man. Gotta have you on the live show sometime, brother, because it'd be awesome. We haven't been, actually, Jacko and I met on a live stream many, many moons ago, even though I'd already been buying his watch strap. So would love to have you on sometime, sir. And unless there are any other questions that you have for me about buying strategy, selling strategy, I think we're almost at the close. Kind of a quick one. Me and James Robot. Like I said, this episode was kind of to test the water to see if this is fun, because I don't know, it's getting to see stuff and hear a little bit about watches that do happen to be available. That's fun. It's a fine line drifting into what the other YouTubers who are just coming on to sell stuff. It's a very fine line. I want to be careful with that and respectful of the viewership and the bond, because I'm making quite a bit of friends through doing this, which is amazing. I have only one watch buddy in my town that I get to meet up and yap with. All my other watch buddies are either in the UK, NYC, Cali, certainly. But yeah, I want to be respectful of that relationship. I want to say thank you for coming along, checking the chat. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anybody? I don't believe so. Yeah, I can't believe the moon on this one. Properly good. All right, I'm gonna wrap that up at just about a half hour, friends. So if you're interested in these, write to me via the channel email, and I'll get to work and putting together some 4K footage. And just want to say thank you so much for coming along on the ride in this wonderful, beautiful hobby of ours. Hope that y'all are doing well and that you are blessed. And Jacko, you got to watch, buddy. You can call me. Look, you're on UK time. You can call me in the middle of the night and talk watches if you want. Oh, Jonathan, no worries. It was kind of a short one, unexpected, late, announced late yesterday. But if you check the listing, all the prices for the watches that I'm trying to move out of the collection so I can pay for my Ming watch that I wasn't expecting, that information's there. Otherwise, write me on the channel. And all right, God bless everybody. Peace.